you, Claire. This is an amazing time. Before I introduce myself, I just kind of want to see who's in the room. How many of you are currently using any form of artificial intelligence? By show of hands. Oh, great. Okay. How many of you have not yet used AI, or you're choosing not to? Okay. All right. I see you. Okay. All right, well, I'm Melanie Mack, and I am the founder and CEO of Codega Media. We are a full-service multimedia company specializing in below-the-line talent. We provide infrastructure to companies that are seeking to hire post-production supervisors. Our flagship is our production assistant training. We do audio engineering. Anything that's below the line, we are providing that service with vetted candidates to all of the studios and networks, post houses, etc. We also have AI literacy, and I've been using artificial intelligence now for probably 7 to 10 years. I initially started with just things like a note taker, being in board meetings, sitting on boards, and I found that incredibly helpful because I'm someone that likes paper and my notebook. And so using something like Fireflies, which I absolutely love, was very helpful in terms of just converting information, having a transcript. At this point with my business, I'm using things like ChatGPT, Anthropic, Claude. I'm using Lovable, Gamma, many of the tools that are available. And the way I use them in my business and with my team, we're a small company. We have about 11 people on staff, and it's a requirement. Everyone on my team has to use artificial intelligence. It accelerates our work. I've been in this business for 30 years. I still have all of the knowledge that I have, but the speed at which I'm able to work I've never seen anything like this in my entire career. It is a game changer. And in terms of how I'm using it in my business, I use it to search for partnerships, for example. So I have agents that look for partnerships that are specific to my business. I look for funding. Anyone need capital in this room for your projects? This year, just Q1, I booked $150,000 personally, just for myself, using artificial intelligence, where it's searching for different deals that would be, ideal for me or ideal for my company or a client that I'm working with. I'm trying to think. So emails and things like that, I don't use it for, writing an email, composing an email. But I'm looking for things like I'll have a board. I have something that I call a council of visionaries, where I have different skill sets and people that I admire from all over the world. And I'll go into Council of Visionaries and say, I'm thinking about this particular project, and I'd like to get your thoughts on what my strategy should be. Here's how I'm thinking about it. What are your thoughts? And it will come back to me with what those people would tend to say, and just give me because some things I can't discuss. All of us as CEOs, you can't always discuss everything with your entire team. And, unless I'm talking to my therapist or someone, there are just some things that are private. And so I love to go into some of those programs, and that's what I use it for. I search for, I have one agent that only does grant proposals. So it would take me, I've been writing grant proposals for 20 years. It would take me months to do research, to write the proposal, to pull all of the pieces together that are needed. Now I can find something, or my agent will find it, and I can just drop it into one of the platforms. 2 minutes, it will tell me if it's a fit for my company. And less than 10 minutes, write the proposal, and I'm sending it out, and I'm funded. So if you're not using it, I'm happy to see that most of the room, 98% of you are using some form of AI. Again, this is a time for us to be in this space. It's important for us. It's important, especially when we're always vying to have a seat at the table. This gives you that seat at the table. This removes gatekeepers. This This is the greatest disruption. Again, my first business was a .com in the 90s. And with that business, I was able to raise $1.5 million. And at that time, I was pitching the concept that people would watch content on their computers. And when I went around to venture capitalists, different VCs, I met with 30 of them all over the country. Everyone said, Melanie, this is a stupid idea. What makes you think that people are going to watch content on a computer? A computer is designed to, and you work, you use it to do your work. And I said, I can see it coming, I know that this is going to happen. Every single venture capitalist, people that are supposed to be smarter than you, etc., everyone said no. There were 2 investors that believed in me, and they were the absolute last meeting that I took, and they funded me for $1.5 million because they believed in me. So when I talk about what we're able to do now, it's just, please don't buy into the hype of, this is not for us. This is for us. I remember when Google launched. I'm giving my age away, but I remember when Google launched. I remember when Yahoo launched. I remember when YouTube launched. When Google launched, the narrative was, oh, if you're using Google, you're cheating. You shouldn't do research. You shouldn't look things up on Google. You need to get an encyclopedia. You need to go to the library. Well, if that's your mentality today of, I'm gonna do it the hard way, the long way, there are people that are going to pass you up so quickly. People that don't even have the skills in this room, on this panel, that can log in, right? That can log in and use one tool and surpass the work that you're doing. So if you're not in it, I encourage you to get involved.
The experience and the expertise that they all have is really great. So I would love for each of you, and Melanie, you talked a little bit about some of the tools you use, because I think a lot of us know the ChatGPTs, we know the Claudes, but is there one particular tool that you would recommend everyone try or use that has really helped you change your business process?
So I'm thinking 5 tools that I use daily, or ChatGPT, or just So ChatGPT for sure. ChatGPT, any platform that you're using, get the paid version. Invest in yourself. I believe that. No one's going to invest in you if you're not willing to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. At least get the $20 version. ChatGPT, I use it for things like, there was a time where, I'm getting all of the trades, right, for the industry. I'd have to sit, just carve out time on a day, like maybe if that's my entire morning where I'm reading and seeing what's going on in the industry. Now, I will simply say, I have an agent that I created that will give me, I will say, summarize what's happening in the industry and how does it impact my business? How is it impacting my competitors? And it will give me all of the top stories, and it saves me so much time doing that. So that's one way. I use it for so many things. Also, you need to train it. You have to train it on your voice. That takes time. You have to train it on your voice, how you write, your thinking. Otherwise, as Shantae said, it is just going to spit out generic things. Claude is wonderful for proposals, reports, making money. I mean, all of these things will make you money. I also use lovable.dev. I think there's so many great ones. Perplexity is wonderful. And I probably shouldn't share this story, but I'm going to share it anyway. A friend of mine came to me, and she was working with a public defender, and was just really displeased with what was happening in this court case that she was dealing with. And so she shared some personal details with me, and I asked her, I said, do you mind if I run this through some of my platforms? Sure. I did that, sent her some information. She took that to her public defender, and they asked her, they said, did you hire a private attorney? She won her case, but I put everything in. I literally ran it through Chat, Claude, and some other programs, and put together, I said, has he looked at these things? Is he considering this? Give me case law, give me precedents. That. Also, press releases and those kinds of things. I have a publicist, an agent, that will write the press release for me and will send it out to all of the trades. I don't have to pick up the phone and get on the phone with a publicist and do those things as I used to do back in the day. It's bot to bot. So it's communicating with another bot anyway. So if it's something that trade would pick up, it's going to pick it up. So the publicist is going to do that for me. So those are just some of the things. And someone said on the panel, I wish I could just give you a list of every single thing, but at the very least, at minimum, use ChatGPT, use Claude, use Perplexity.